I'm born and raised in Taiwan. I got my English ability basically from Disney. Watch TV, okay, nothing else. But the reason why I actually started to improve myself so much is that I realized that I'm actually using a lot of English in my work. I started working as an official delegation for policymaking, focusing on women's economic empowerment.
And it all started with Disney. Shout out princesses. Princesses lead you to policy. The P squared. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the NG English Show. My name is John Drummond, or Yang Haoen.
Hi, 大家好，欢迎回到 NG 英文，我是 Stephanie。今天的来宾 Vivian 是一位创办人以及 CEO。接下来就让我们来欢迎 Vivian。
Today I am joined by the incredibly talented founder and CEO, Miss Vivian.
Hello.
So everyone, please welcome Vivian.
Yay.
What's up?
Great.
So you are coming in after being awoken by mosquitoes and the sun at 5 a.m.
Not 5 a.m. I mean, I woke up several times during the whole night.
Because of the mosquitoes?
Because of the mosquitoes, and it's
nemesis.
Winter. I know it's winter right now, but why are they around in like 6th floor?
This is serious questions. I
don't know. Like they took elevators, I guess. That's what I guess.
They did. They took the elevator to find you.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been a long day for you, but I'm happy you're here because you are incredible for empowering women, empowering yourself, doing nonprofit work, working with blockchain technology, working with tech in general. And you're here to share some tips and advice along the way.
Not really tips and advice. It's just like my own experiences and how I got through a lot of difficulties.
That's the stuff. That's the secret sauce that we love because honestly, you know, my audience knows how much I really believe in understanding your journey, your values, your morals, and how to kind of shape that to your life. And it seems like from an early stage, you had a clear vision for what you wanted to do. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say relatively. Starting when I was still in college. Like originally, I didn't know what I want to do. Like I got to college. I studied German language and literature, like which is not
super useful.
No, yeah. Of course, there's like a bunch of German like walking around in Taiwan. Yeah, so basically, I didn't know what I want to do until I started volunteering in a lot of like different shelters around the world. Some in India and Mongolia, and a lot of them in Taiwan. I started to realize how I enjoy working with a lot of these like underprivileged kids. The reason why I enjoyed is somewhat because I kind of feel related. Like growing up, there's always this time that you feel kind of doubtful of yourself. You don't know what you can do. You wonder whether you're just not talented enough to achieve something, and why is everyone having such a clear vision for themselves but not you. But instead, like working or living with them, you realize that they are like, people are all just human beings. We're all just trying to make the worst into the best and trying to live through day and try to live optimistically, try to embrace whatever challenges that is in front of them, and compared to them, the challenges that like kind of occur in our life, it's just like relatively small. Yeah. And I just realized how I was inspired by them.
That's beautiful. And I want to mention we got connected through the wonderful Candace, who was on the show a few weeks ago, and she was just like, hey, I want you to meet this incredible entrepreneur. I think you guys are pretty close as well, right?
We actually met each other on some founders event. So there's actually a bunch of founders event, but not so much like female founders or women founders gathering. And she's like also organizing a lot of those communities. So I would just say kudos to any of these people trying to bring diversity into community.
Vivian 在很年轻的时候就知道自己想要做什么样的工作，但她在大学的时候本来还不确定自己的方向。她当时主修的是德文， 直到他开始在各国的收容所担任义工之后，才有了一些想法。当时他曾经去过印度、蒙古跟台湾的收容所帮忙，然后后来发现他很喜欢帮助弱势团体的孩子 underprivileged kids， 因为他在某种程度上觉得有同感，比如说成长的过程当中会有段时间觉得自我怀疑 doubtful， 不知道自己能做什么，想着自己是不是没有才华所以才没有成就，还有为什么别人都那么清楚他们自己的愿景，但自己却没有。那跟这些弱势团体的孩子住在一起，甚至一起工作之后，才发现其实大家都是人，不断的试着在逆境中活出最好的一面，每个人只想好好过日子，乐观一点，迎接生活中的挑战。而他们生活中遇到的挑战跟我们生活中遇到的挑战相比，我们相对 relatively 来说显得微不足道。那来宾也因此受到启发。Vivian 是由我们前几集的其中一位来宾 Candice 转介绍的，那他们其实是去一个创办人的活动上认识的。那因为 Candice 有在策划以女性为主题的活动，所以来宾想要赞美 kudos 所有在帮忙将多元化带入社群中的人。我们继续来听接下来的专访吧。
So I was hoping we could kind of start with a high level of what are you actually doing here in Taiwan as a founder and CEO?
So right now, I am the founder and CEO at Hepta Protocol. It is a company that is helping now enterprises to better utilize their resources in ESG. So ESG stands for environment, social, and governance. It's basically the good side or kind of a good side or more positive side of a company. Like there are more and more consumers that cares about the impact product they buy actually created during the time it is produced. Whether it's like some of them might be made by like child labor or created in a like not environmental friendly way. We're kind of like trying to leverage that resources and help build resource to actually flow into the shelters that need help. Instead of to like larger organizations, because within the traditional settings there's actually a lot of money not being utilized well enough, and a lot of the resources just basically just go to waste.
The concept here for the audience is kind of like if I wanted to have impact in the world, and you know, some people want to donate money to charities, but you're not sure necessarily where that money goes or how it gets there. And so is your company helping people kind of track where it goes, or from this ESG standpoint, how the products were made and how they became available to you? Is that how you're using it?
Yeah, basically, so we're using blockchain as kind of the fundamental, like our foundation of our whole product. We use blockchain because there's like traceability, and there's this layer of transparency that is built upon the technology itself. And blockchain itself is a technology of rights. It's a gathering of rights. It's helping people preserving their rights in the digital era. And using this technology, it's possible for not just enterprises but also individuals to track their record and everything. And we started from enterprises because it's kind of where the trend is rising. And we figured if we can capture this more stable source of this stable source of resource, we can in the longer term create a more sustainable resource flow into the shelters, into the non-profits that actually need the resources.
Vivian 现在的公司主要是帮助企业更有效的利用资源在 ESG。ESG 就是 Environmental Social Governance， 也就是环境保护、社会责任以及公司治理的缩写。简单来说，他们就是公司的好的一面或是正面。因为现在其实蛮多消费者会注重他们购买的东西是否是从童工或是来自不环保的工厂生产出来的，所以 Vivian 的公司就是要帮忙收容所成为企业需要的资源，而不是跟大集团合作。因为传统的做法中有很多钱没有被好好的利用 utilized， 而这就是蛮浪费的 waste。 来一个总结概念，其实就是像企业他们如果想要对社会有一些贡献跟影响力的时候，可能他们会担心金流的去向以及要怎么做。那 Vivian 的公司就是建立在区块链上，这是因为可追溯性 traceability 以及透明度 transparency。 因为区块链本身就是权利的相关科技，那在数位的时代要帮助大家维护权利，这样子的话可以帮助企业以及个人的客户追踪他们的金流去向。他们目前是从企业端开始，因为目前有上升的趋势，所以他们觉得如果能够抓住这种比较稳定的收入，他们才能够更稳定的提供资源给收容所。我们继续来听接下来的专访吧。
Thinking about your own journey with this as a founder, what really brought your awareness to not just blockchain, but kind of, you know, you were talking a little bit about shelters needing help. Like, what helped you understand why this was important to you?
At some level related to my own background. So I kind of grew up in a humble background. So not a really well-structured family, not very supportive. So I kind of need to find a lot of resources myself growing up to get myself into a certain places with some learning opportunities. It's not easy, and I know from the first hand that you'll need to be 3 times, 5 times more hardworking than a lot of the people that are around you to actually get a spot that they already have, that they feel like they already deserve without doing anything. So understanding how the system, how the social structure is set up in this way, and I met all these kids in the shelters. I know that they are in the exaggeration of what I've been through. So kind of just want to work on the thing. And I don't think there's anything else I think I will work on. Because like it's just, I don't know, I'm still young. So I might find some other problems to solve in the future. But right now, I don't see poverty. I don't see inequality. I don't see inequality of like specifically opportunities of education, of right to live and to be loved.
Yeah.
Like these are not solvable within 10, 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially it's what we've been dealing with forever in one way or another. And for everyone who's trying to work on these things, I really applaud. Thinking about your own company then with this, what does the future look like? You know, what do you guys want to be focusing on right now in the short term, but also maybe kind of more ambitious long-term goals?
So I do have my own, I got my own hypothesis. My whole why, the mission for myself would be to remove the obstacles for any of these underserved community, for them to actually have a chance to live their potential and get the opportunities they deserve. That's like the overall high level mission I have. The strategy here is I kind of divided it into 4 phases. So first of all, we'll need to focus on how the money flows in. And then we see like the next kind of step is when the money is in the system, we see how it is allocated. And when it is allocated, we see how it is being used. And then we track the quality of the resource being used, so that is basically when we can start to realize how resources are used in more higher quality education, or is it just like education in general, but in a more traditional way where you're still kind of limiting people's imagination towards a more creative future. There's kind of different phases here. We're now focusing on the first 2 phases, so that's kind of like short term. Just want the money to get in, and so that we have something to distribute.
Yeah, to something to start tracking the data.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. And so you mentioned you're focused on education right now. Is that like giving money, resources to underserved communities to focus on education opportunities?
So I wouldn't say we are. Education is definitely one of my personal focus. But for what we are doing, and we definitely started with education kind of as our initial starting point. So basically cooperate with shelters. Like one of the shelters we work with is the shelter in northern India. It's in Rajasthan. This area with a bunch of nomadic community where kids are easily taken as child labor when they're 3 to 6 years old, and like just sold or taken. And we work with them, kind of trying to build them a library. Since they are a nomadic community, it's hard for them to have a kind of a stable space, a stable just environment to learn. And we started from there. That's even though it's like infrastructure building, but it's still infrastructure for education. So we started with the education focus of the doing good, like in general. But eventually, I do believe that the system we're creating right now, it can be expanded easily to environment, to governance, like whatever good causes people are working on. Just education is something that I am personally more passionate about and care more about.
来宾提到自己会对帮助弱势团体那么有热忱的一部分原因，是因为自己的成长背景。那来宾的家人其实不太支持他，而且家境并不是太好，所以他需要自己找资源才有学习的机会。那他非常清楚，要得到别人轻松就能拥有的机会，对他而言就是必须得付出3倍到5倍的努力才有办法拿到。那其实社会的结构就是这样子，所以当他看到弱势团体的孩子的经历与他相同，但却更加困难的时候，他就很想帮助他们。那他认为贫穷 poverty 跟不平等 inequality 是10到20年内无法解决的事情。那来宾对于自己公司未来的假设 hypothesis 就是能够帮助弱势团体克服遇到的障碍 obstacle， 并且让他们活出自己的潜能 potential。 他的策略 strategy 就是分成4个层面。第一个面向就是要解决资金的部分，因为他们认为要先有资金才有办法去分配 allocate 这些资源给需要的人，那同时这样他才能够去追踪这些资料，这是他们短期内的计划。那来宾有提到教育只是一个起始点，像他们跟北印度的一个收容所合作，那因为他们是游牧民族，所以没有办法找一个固定的地方，但 Vivian 的公司还是为他们打造了一个可移动的图书馆。那接下来当然是希望把资源放到其他的项目上，大家个人还是对于教育最有热忱。我们继续来听接下来的专访吧。
Do you mind if we switch gears a little bit, though, to how your language is playing in all of this as you're defining so many things so elegantly? Where did this language journey begin? You said you were studying German, there's English.
I know.
Language seems to be such a tool, as blockchain has been for you, to kind of unlock new paths for you. So can you share a little bit about that?
I'm born and raised in Taiwan. Never been abroad. I mean, I was out for a business trip or something, but never been abroad in other countries for more than 1 or 2 months or so.
Never lived
abroad long term. I think so. I guess like one of the thing that I got, the reason why I have like such blessing for like my ability to speak English. I think it's because I watch a lot of TV. I got my English ability basically from Disney and
Nice.
Disney. Yeah, watch TV. Okay, nothing else. Watch TV. So Disney, and actually, I got into one of those like English only cram school, like when I was like super young, but not for too long. Not for too long, but it definitely helped. If you have an environment to just practice, that helped. But the reason why I actually started to improve myself so much is that I realized that I'm actually using a lot of English in my work. So I didn't get to this point until I started working. So I started, my career kind of started in a little bit different. I started working as a kind of official delegate from Chinese Taipei, Taiwan, to APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. So the official delegation for policymaking, representing Taiwan in all of these APEC forum, specifically focusing on women's economic empowerment and diversity, inclusion in all these workplaces, how we include more women, how we create a more friendly environment so that people don't need to quit once they are getting married or getting a child. Like those are the policy that we were trying to make. We were trying, and I guess people are still trying.
Okay, I was like, I hope people are still trying this.
People are still trying. It's not easy. It's not easy because there's just too many stigma. So that's one thing I've been working on. And because I already have some foundation of English and I can speak, so that's why I basically got sent to this job, for this position.
Ah, right. So your language skills right there were the tool.
Exactly. If it wasn't that, if it weren't for the fact that I can speak English, I wouldn't be able to be exposed to any of these like great opportunities. Traveling around for business, meeting all these ambassadors around the world, and try to understand how policy are made within the policy framework of not just a country level, but also international level. It's very different and eye-opening, and I like further improve the ability kind of during my job.
Yeah, and it all started with Disney.
Disney, I know, princesses.
Shout out princesses. Princesses lead you to policy, the P squared.
What?
I just made that up. I don't know. But it's amazing because, you know, now as a CEO and founder, you're having impact in more, like 7 countries already, and probably more, hopefully, to come.
Hopefully more to come. But I would say like we would definitely want to like focus first on a certain market, because all these different countries, they have very different condition, and to switch country, it means that we need to do like a full set of research, full set of like interview and whatever to just get into the thing.
Yeah. It's a serious process, and it takes a lot of hours, a lot of research, and incredible. How big is your team now?
So it's only 3 people.
Oh my goodness. So 3 of you all in Taiwan?
Saving the world.
3 of you in Taiwan, all Taiwanese?
All Taiwanese, 2 Taiwanese girls, and 1 guy.
Nice. So a team of 3, and you guys are probably all speaking English at from time to time because of these international projects.
Exactly, and our advisor are actually from like Japan, Boston, Japan, Boston,
Were
India.
you in AppWorks? Or was it?
Oh, I'm not.
Okay. I was like, there's some advisors from Boston. Okay, sorry, no.
Yeah, but like advisor from Boston. Yeah, that is just the Oliver.
来宾是土生土长的台湾人，而且从来没有在国外住过哦，没想到吧？他说他的英文能力是透过电视学来的，主要是看迪士尼。那他也有提到，他很小的时候有短暂的去上过英文补习班，虽然时间不久，但他认为那样子的环境其实对他有帮助的。那他开始想要提升自己的英文能力的契机，其实是他发现工作中会很常用到英文。那他的职涯开始也比较特殊一点，因为他当时是台湾正式的代表 delegate， 他主要是负责出席与 APAC 的各大研讨会 forum， 并且定一些政策 policy。那他们围绕的议题都是女性经济与权利，或是工作场合上的多元化，以及如何让大环境对女性更加友善。那会获得这个职位的原因是因为他有一些英文基础，才会有机会跟各国大使去做交流，去了解国际的观点，并且了解政策是如何产生的。那我们继续来听接下来专访吧。
A question, though, I love to end the show with is, if you could go back and talk to a younger Vivian, would there be any advice you give yourself about life, language, Disney, anything?
I would say just don't give up, because there's going to be a lot of time that you feel frustrated, but things are going to be a lot better. Like, I guess that's something I should tell myself right now, because there's a lot of challenges.
Meta.
There's just like way too many challenges on the way, especially when you're doing impact, because it's not obviously not something that people would look at and say, this is gonna make me $1 billion,
right. Yeah,
or so not that kind of business. Harder to explain, harder to engage people, but I guess it will worth it.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Yeah, you've got the endless supply of energy if you care about it, right? That's your fuel. That's your compass, your direction.
来宾会给年轻自己的建议就是别放弃，因为一定会有很多时候会觉得很挫折 frustrated， 但事情会有好转的。尤其是因为他现在在做有影响力的事情，但是如果要说赚钱的话，或者是要说明的话，其实比较困难一点，但他认为到最后都一定会是值得的。那我们就谢谢今天的来宾 Vivian。
Awesome. Well, where can people find more about your company? Where can they find more about you online?
So our company is called Hepta Protocol, and you can find us at hepta.edu.io, hepta.edu.io, and I'm on Instagram, Vivian TP6.
TP6, that sounds like an
TP6,
internet protocol.
No, if you look at your keyboard, so TP6 is 是Chen, so it's Vivian Chen in 注音.
There we go.
That's
I
my
love
name.
it. That's a creative way to say Chen.
Yeah, that's my name. That's my full name. Because there's too many Vivian Chen around.
There's so many Vivian Chen. Yes. So very, very creative. Awesome, Vivian. Well, thank you for joining us on the NG English show, and we'll talk to you next time.
See ya. Thanks.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. My name is John Drummond. This was Vivian Chen. You know where to find us. We'll talk to you next time. Peace. All right. Well, that is our NG Ingwen show for today. We hope everyone enjoyed listening to that. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Spotify. You can search NG Ingwen, or you can search on IG NG English ICRT. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday morning from 6:30 to 7 and Wednesday night from 9 to 9:30. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.